Anyway, back to Microsoft. Microsoft urges developers not to create female characters with exaggerated body proportions. Again, this is what they will point at and say this is exaggerated when it is not.
No. It's just in shape.
Yeah.
And not a fat gland well.
The site titled Project Inclusion Action Help Customers Feel Seen includes a bullet list of considerations they urge developers to make when working on their products. Now, I have tooted, the Xbox is better horn for a long time. Granted, I am a PC player primarily, but Microsoft does a banger job of giving you the most bang for your buck, and they've been sucking up companies left and right over the past few years. And now it has dawned on me that if they're sucking up these companies just to force DEI onto them, that was a bad play. That was bad for me to toot that one.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were definitely made.
But of course, we didn't know that at the time. We thought it was just movement to acquire IPs.
And to make them better, because at the time, Microsoft was knocking out some bangers.
Yeah.
And they and while other studios, like some of the ones they took, like Bethesda, were not doing so good in that department. But anyway, one Twitter user pointed out the language expressly condemned containing female characters as reinforcing negative gender stereotypes. Are you reinforcing any negative gender stereotypes? Are you unnecessarily introducing gender or gender barriers into your code or design? How the Okay, somebody's going to have to explain to me what the fuck is an unnecessary gender barrier in code. But anyway.
I know. Wait. I can explain this one.
Okay.
Okay, so in C++, C#, Visual Bit, any coding language, you can make variables and you can name them anything.
Mm-hmm.
I usually like the basic X, Y, Z for like mathematical formulas, but
yes,
usually if you want it to be more precise so that it doesn't get confusing on down the road, you would name it something more robust, like if you want a numerical value for the hairstyle of a female character, you might make it female hair 1 integer.
Yeah.
Or actually Boolean would probably be more likely, but
I think I know what you're talking about now.
But now that is unnecessary gendering in the code.
So instead of female hair 1, 2, and 3, we just have hair ML 1, 2, and 3. We have we just have hair 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
Really, guys, is that even a big issue?
So now so now when I make a character, and by the way, I've seen this in games, even indie games, mind you, where I make a male character and have 132 different hairstyles, both male and female, to go through.
Yeah, it does suck doing that.
How about this?
But at the same time, in order for me to get my ponytail, I have to have access to that female list.
Well, hear me out. Why not do this? Male character, and then on the big old list of hairstyles, you have a female and male button. Male hairstyles, female hairstyles. That way, even if you have a male character, you can hit boop, female hairstyles. There's the list. That way, you get the fruity hairstyle that Zio has.
Exactly.
And for the love of God, can somebody please do Buzz hair right for once?
It ain't happening. Forget it.
Yeah, I know.
Technology's not there.
It's either a solid shell or
bold or solid.
It's either a solid shell or a Kojak.
Yes, that's all you got. Are you creating playable female characters that are equal in skill and ability to their male peers? Are your female characters equipped with clothing and armor that fits their task? Do they have exaggerated body proportions? Okay, real quick before we go into this. There was a post somewhere on Twitter, and I can't find it now, where somebody was complaining about this exact thing. All right. Talking about how companies need to make female characters that are equal in skill and ability to their male counterparts.
They are. I've never ran
And
into a game that didn't.
I wasn't the only one who was thinking, what the fuck are you smoking? Honey, seriously, what the fuck are you smoking? Because they're not equal. They really aren't. Did you know this, Chad? Would you like me to explain how they're not equal?
Are you talking in real life or in the game?
In the game, how female and male characters tend to be unequal in most games.
Wait. Are we talking single player, like the character itself, or are we talking like MMO?
Everything.
Well,
MMO, single player, it doesn't matter.
okay, women get preferential treatment. I know that.
All right, here's the difference. Usually, female characters have a smaller hitbox.
Yeah.
They're quicker and more agile than their male counterparts. There's actually one game out there, and I can't remember what its name. Destiny. There we go. If you choose the female model, you have a much smaller hitbox than if you chose a male model.
Yeah, that makes
Much
sense. You're a
smaller
smaller
hitbox.
model.
So if you want to do that game and you want to do it competitively, you pick the female. You're taking less bullets. That's of notable games anyway. But there's plenty of games out there where female have smaller hitboxes.
I was in my mind, I wasn't thinking that detailed. I was thinking skills and abilities, and I'm thinking,
but it is that's the main detail right there.
Well, I'm thinking in my head, what game has like the females aren't allowed to wield heavy fucking sledgehammers?
And usually in a lot of these games, male characters tend to be slower and they take more, right? And this is evident in a lot of fighting games, or at least older fighting games too. Like in the old Soul Calibur games, I think her name was Taki.
Yeah.
I can't remember what her name is. She uses the whatchamacallits. Anyway, blades.
Yeah, the female characters are faster.
Played her because she's hella fast and hits a lot. Meanwhile, if you were to take somebody like who's the big guy, Nightmare? There we go. I think that's what his name is. Who wields the Soul Calibur, the big one?
Yeah. That's Nightmare.
He's slow compared to her.
They like one shot your ass.
But then again, he also hits like a truck. I mean, there is definitely a difference. I don't want equal skill and ability between the characters, because then it doesn't matter who I'm playing, whether it's Scorpion or Scorpion's daughter. They're both exactly the same.
Or it's boring.
Sub-Zero's daughter, whoever the female freeze is.
Oh, this is an argument I have against competitive gaming, because they try to even the playing field to the point where there's no difference between any of the characters, any of that. Competitive gaming is boring to me. Putting that out there. Fuck you to anybody that thinks that Smash Brothers competitive scene is competitive. It is not. It is a bunch of whiny little bitches that can't handle items on.
That, and apparently it's full of pedos. But anyway.
Yeah, that too. I found that out and I was like, oh, so this is what the Minecraft streamers do on their off time.
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely differences, and usually, the females might be slightly weaker here and there. The males are a bit bulkier, but they're also faster. They have smaller hitboxes and things like that. I don't want them to be the same.
Yeah,
at all.
Variety is the spice of life. Aren't these the same people that tout diversity?
But anyway, yeah, not when it comes to creating a character. They need to be the same. Now, in something like Fortnite, I think the hitboxes are exactly the same no matter which character you're really using, for the most part.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy hits on Fortnite. I don't even play Fortnite.
Another thing to exemplify this, you remember playing older Halo?
Yeah.
Remember when they introduced the Elite for multiplayer?
Yeah,
What character did you use in multiplayer? Was it an Elite or a Spartan, and why?
Spartan.
Why?
Me, honestly, because I was playing a Spartan, but I found out that I guess I didn't even know this till way after the fact. I guess elites had bigger hitboxes.
Ding, ding, ding. You can easily snipe an Elite just like that with no problems whatsoever because their head hitbox was fucking massive compared to a
Yep.
Spartan. I loved the Elite, mind you, and I did play an Elite in multiplayer just because I liked the design, but I also knew I was at a disadvantage for doing so. So, you know, and but yeah, I mean that also takes into a place if the Elites and the Spartans had the same hitbox, you know. But anyway, that's another thing that sort of exemplifies that whole notion right there. And then of course armor that fits their task, blah blah blah. They're hitting on the whole. Why does Laura Croft run around in booty shorts and a tank top and all this other stuff and yada yada? And it's like, really, guys, it looked good.
Because
Let's
it's
not
hot.
let's not mince any words. It was hot.
I'm gonna be straight. Like Laura Croft and a couple other characters were how I, hit puberty.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, and there's nothing wrong with eye candy or anything. And then, of course, do they have exaggerated portions? And then we'll go back to Stella Blade here, where they're like, "Have you ever seen a real woman?" Yeah, there's one right there.
Yeah, have you?
Anyway, the question is, have you ever been to the beach? You're going to see a lot more than what she's got, or you're going to see a lot less, and similar body types, if not more. You're probably going to actually see skinnier, more bustier
Yeah,
women.
you know what's funny is they complain about the alternate outfit with Stellar Blade, which is like flesh tone.
Yeah.
But what they always fail to mention is that is hard mode. You can get one-shotted by anything in the game wearing that because you have no shield.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found that out. I found that out from somebody posted like, why are they complaining? This is literally hard mode. This is literally like impossible mode. This is like Dark Souls on crank.
And then, when the story allows, do you show male characters who display a full range of emotions, including joy, sadness, and vulnerability?
Well, that would be realistic. We don't have emotions.
Yeah, no, seriously, we're not allowed to have emotions. What the
Yeah,
fuck are you
if we have
talking about?
emotions, society pretty much uses that against us. So we had to get that surgically removed.
But yeah, I mean that purely depends on the story, of course. You know, but they want you to shoehorn it all in, regardless of whether it fits or not.
And make a terrible game.
Anyway, recently Western game developers have been making points to rally against objectification in games and are citing unrealistic beauty standards set by fictional characters. Again, I don't know how many times I have to drill this in. Real person. Anyway, most recently, Stella Blade has been the subject of such criticism despite the game's heroine being based off of a real life model. I clicked that, but here you go. If you need to know.
And that is her doing the whole modeling.
Body of Stella Blade right there. That last time I checked was a real person, not an AI generated. Anyway, between Microsoft's developer site and Stella Blade, it seems there's been a reversal of roles in recent years. Sony has been criticized for its censorship policies after relocating its gaming business units to California. Oh, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah.
But yes, there has been a lot of yelling at Sony for censorship, let me tell you, because they have been doing a lot of censorship over the past few years.
Let me tell you something. It always comes back to California. Stop going to California.
Seriously, that's a bad place. Taxes are way too high. If anything, just don't go there for the taxes.
Like, do they do any research before going there? Like, Jesus Christ, the taxes, shit all over the ground, the homelessness epidemic, the drug epidemic. It is like literally like a complete absolute shithole. And these companies are like, oh, let's go there. That sounds great.
But yeah, gamers have been more vigilant in recent weeks following an attempted harassment campaign initiated by the employees of Sweet Baby Inc. against a Steam curator and his personal account. The controversy has spilled over from the employees' actions to a wider conversation about narrative, consulting, and video game. Incorporating stories and themes from marginalized communities or emerging markets in a relatable way. This is apparently the Microsoft thing.
Yeah.
Help customers feel seen.
I've read this. It about had a damn aneurysm.
Let's see. 57% of players in broader game market didn't play certain games because the games weren't made for them. Over half of the global market. I'm sorry, what? And a broader gaming market didn't play certain games because the games weren't made for them. The fuck? Who are these people? What are they smoking?
Citation needed.
Yeah, anyway. Business impact. 80%
Oh,
of media
wait.
consumed by the world is created in the US, and yet most media, including video games, don't contain characters and contain the align to a broader customer. Research shows that players prefer characters that look like them and more likely to purchase and play experiences where they align with the character's identity. No, a lot of the best games were kind of
Dude,
blank protagonists for the most part.
stop reading, Zio.
Oh gosh.
Look
My
at
head
this.
hurts.
Look, I said citation needed, and then I looked down and saw the citations. I'm gonna need a minute.
New Zoo 2022 study. Diamond Lobby Diversity Gaming Report. Global Gaming's Gamer Stuff. Oh gosh. Um, these references.
It's all DEI companies.
Worlds of Gamers mapped.
It's literally this group saying we did this. The study we're citing is the study we did.
Oh, Diversity in Gaming Report. Of course. Have a total control over your character's appearance. That left our final list of 93 of the biggest games released in the past 5 years. Found games like New World. New World is dead, guys.
Hold up, right there.
New World is dead.
Right there. Animal Crossing, where you have total control over your character's gender and appearance. Bullshit. That is one of the most limiting games.
Let's see. This one requires me to sign in, and I ain't signing in for that.
It is one of the most limiting games, and you look like a freak regardless of what you pick.
Oh, that was.
But Animal Crossing
rotting. Do what?
But Animal Crossing's fun. But I'm gonna be 100. You look like a freak.
Yeah, it has its own thing, doesn't it? Oh. So, let's go from Microsoft being woke to Rumble being banned across Reddit.